pilot Brodie Torrance saves passengers from a lightning strike by making a risky landing on a war-torn island, only to find that surviving the landing was just the beginning. When dangerous rebels take most of the passengers hostage, the only person Torrance can count on for help is Louis Gaspar, an accused murderer who was being transported by the FBI.
Me? Or that too?
This is Plane Movie, which was released on January 13, 2023. The film opens with Captain Brodie Torrance, Gerard Butler, in Singapore, calling his daughter Daniela, Hayley Hecking, as he intends to arrive home in Honolulu to spend time with her for the holiday. Brodie, a former RAF pilot, is flying Trailblazer Airlines Flight 119, and he arrives to meet his co-pilot, Samuel Dele Yosanen, who informs Brodie that they are going to fly through a storm. Bonnie, Daniela Pineda, the chief flight attendant, informs Brodie that he is needed to meet Officer Shellback, Remy Adelique.
Hey. See you soon, Cap.
The officer informs Brodie that they are transporting a killer, a former French Foreign Legion soldier named Louis Gaspar, Mike Coulter.
Let's go.
As the flight gets ready for takeoff, we see other guests, such as young social media influencers and a snooty businessman.
Heading Climb 2 and maintain 2000.
Roger that. Cleared for takeoff. Fly runway heading. Climb.
While in the air, Brodie and Dele talk, with Brodie mentioning how his wife had passed years earlier. As they pass over the South China Sea, the plane encounters heavy turbulence when it passes through the storm. The storm gets worse, leading to the plane suffering damage, and Brodie injures his head in the commotion. A stewardess is killed, and Shellback also dies after being slammed around when the plane starts going down.
5 minutes and 40 seconds.
Brodie and Dele have to manage control without communications and radar, bringing it to a safer balance.
There you go.
Realizing the damages are too heavy, they have to make an emergency landing.
Let it get steady and locked.
The pilots find an island and make a rough landing. Once everything settles, Brodie has the passengers get out of the plane. He and Dele learn they are on the Jolo Island. In New York City, at Trailblazer's headquarters, the board of directors is met by their crisis manager, Scarsdale, Tony Goldwyn, to try and locate the plane and passengers.
And lost all contact.
Get me David Scarsdale, right now.
Brodie tries to keep Louis away and secured from the other passengers due to his violent history. Brodie works with Dele and Bonnie to keep the passengers calm and to find a way to call for help. Dele tells Brodie that Jolo is operated by violent separatists, meaning they risk putting everyone in danger the longer they are there. The rebels, led by Datu Junmar, Evan Dane Taylor, catch wind of the plane's crash landing and hope to gain from the passengers. Meanwhile, Brodie goes with Louis into the forest to find a way to contact for help.
We're going to do everything we can to make sure that we get you out of here safely. All right?
Back in New York City, Scarsdale and the board review Brodie's history file, featuring a video of an incident where Brodie held an aggressive passenger in a chuck hole, until he passed out after the man punched Brodie when he tried to calm down an altercation. Scarsdale plans to send a private military team to rescue everyone once the plane is tracked, since they know of the threat on the island.
Private assets.
In Honolulu, Daniela's aunt informs her of the news that her father's plane went down.
As soon as we have some updates,
Brodie and Louis reach a tower where Brodie manages to contact an agent from Trailblazers who initially doesn't believe him because she claims they have been getting lots of crank calls over the missing flight.
Emergency ops immediately.
Brodie also manages to call Daniela before he is attacked by a rebel.
Is that your dad? Yes, yes!
Brodie fights the man until he is able to kill him. Upon further inspection of the building, Brodie and Louis see that the rebels used the area to torture and videotape their victims for ransom money. The two rush back to the plane, but find that Junmar and his goons have already made it there.
We don't know who it is! Get back! Get back! Get! Stop!
Korean woman attempts to flee, only for one of the rebels to shoot her. Her husband is then brutally decapitated.
Move!
The rebels proceed to take everyone else hostage while Brody and Louis hide. Once the rebels leave, the two subdue a remaining rebel and learn that Junma is taking everyone to a nearby village.
Where's he taking them?
I'll tell you, that'll kill me.
Brody and Louis resolve to follow and rescue everyone.
Dandela village is one road in, one road out.
As the two head out to the village, Junma starts forcing the hostages to state their names and home countries for their ransom video.
Country.
How come?
The military team arrives on the island, but they find nobody near the plane, only the bodies of Shellback and the stewardess, along with a message from Brody. Brody and Louis make it to the village and kill some more rebels before locating and freeing the hostages. Everyone gets boarded onto a bus while Brody stays behind to let them get out.
Oh yeah, I can handle these guys. How are you gonna do that?
Junma and his men beat him and prepare to execute him, but the military team shows up and begins to open fire on the rebels.
We're friendlies, Captain. Stay where you are. Stay where you are.
After the fight, Junma finds his brother among the dead, driving his cause against the others to become more personal. Everyone makes it back to the plane and boards it. The Trailblazers board argues about having Brody fly the plane since it is so damaged and could potentially kill everyone on board.
As I didn't believe it could be done, I would not put you guys back on that plane.
Louis joins the military men as they fight the rebels. And Louis chooses to remain on the island since he has no future going back, and he found a bag of ransom money. With most of the rebels dead, Brody and Dele make an effort to get the plane moving.
Enough road? It's gonna have to be.
Junma attempts to fire an RPG at the plane, but Brody lifts it high enough in the air that he kills Junma by smashing into him with the plane's wheels. Brody then plans to land at a nearby airstrip in Sayasi with the amount of fuel they have left.
Find me a place to land.
After a bit of turbulence, Brody can safely land, causing everyone at headquarters to cheer.
Congratulations, everyone.
As the passengers settle down, Brody sits to call Daniela and let her know he is coming home.
Coming home.
Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and like our channel for more movie recap.